Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. If you guys are not new here, welcome back. I love everything for clicking on today's video. Obviously, you can tell by the title, I am going to give you guys an update on how it's been. It was supposed to be 1 month, but 1 month was June 20th, and it is July 18th, so 2 months. How I've been feeling 2 months after leaving gymnastics. If you guys don't know, I also filmed this video, but I have many competition videos before that in which you knew I was level 8 gymnast. I've been doing gymnastics for 14 years of my life, and I just turned 16 years old, so pretty much my entire life I was doing gymnastics. I just recently quit on May 20th, 2022 because I felt like I needed a break. The amount of pressure that you are under in gymnastics, that whether that is put on you or you put on yourself, is unreal. I needed a break from the pressure. I needed a break from the mental stress I was putting on myself that the sport gave me, putting through my body through 6 days a week of practice. So much time, not having time to do stuff like a normal quote-unquote teenager would in high school. Not that I plan on doing that now, but just because I just needed something different. I've been doing the same thing, like I said, for 14 years. It was wake up at 5 a.m., go to school till 3, go to practice till 8:30, then come home, eat dinner, shower, homework till like 1 a.m. in the morning. And there was no time for anything else, no time for a job, no time to hang out with friends, no time for community service, no time for clubs, there was no time for anything else. And while I did love gymnastics, and I still do love gymnastics, I couldn't keep doing something that I wasn't in love with. I will always love the sport of gymnastics. I will always love everything I did in gymnastics. Like, I don't take for granted 1 second of what gymnastics gave me. I don't wish that I never did gymnastics. Like, I am so grateful that I was given the opportunity to do gymnastics, that it carried me through life essentially, and it has taught me so many life lessons. It's like not even funny. It raised me, and the people that I was with raised me and have shaped me into the person that I am today, whether that is for some in a good way and others in a bad. Ultimately, I love gymnastics because I need something different. It was affecting too much of my anxiety, which I've had problems with. That's a topic for a different time, and just so much other stuff. But anyway, that's why I left. So the first thing is not knowing what to do. That first month, I stopped gymnastics on May 20th. I had 2 weeks in between. It was finals 1 week, and the next week I was just getting ready and during the first week of summer, and then the week after that I left for Peru. If you guys haven't seen those videos, those are amazing videos, go check them out. But I went to Peru on a photography trip for 11 days, and I came back on June 15th. And essentially from the time I quit gymnastics until June 15th, we'll give it 2 days afterward, June 17th, from recovering and everything from being away, I was busy. I had no time to think. I was occupied, I was busy, and that is ultimately why I chose the time, when I chose the time to quit, because essentially I could have quit back in March when I didn't make it to regionals and the season was over, but I didn't want that because one, I kind of knew what I was going to be feeling, and I was right, and two, I wanted a couple more months to just be at that point, I wasn't doing gymnastics for anybody else, and I wasn't doing gymnastics for the sake of the goal is prepare for next season. The goal is to be on top. The goal is to win it all, which was not my mentality. I just want to clarify, but it is a factor. It just is, and it should be for most athletes anyway. I just wanted a time to be one of those rep kids, have fun, and just throw skills. That sounds insane, but just do a bunch of skills that I never thought I would do. Skills just to try them. Skills just because why not? And that's what those last couple of months of gymnastics gave me. So that's why I chose to quit when I did. And then I was busy, so I didn't have time to think about gymnastics. I didn't have time to think about leaving. I wasn't sad. I wasn't it just was weird to say I'm not a gymnast anymore. That's the only part. And I kind of still sometimes I say I'm a gymnast because it's like easier than just like explaining to people, like, because like people assume you do a sport. Oh my god, look, it's dying. I'll be back. Okay, I'm sorry if the angle shifted like slightly, but like, this is the battery. Anyway, people assume you do a sport, and obviously I get that. Like, I assumed people did a sport, but I get it. So it's just hard to switch from just like saying like, yeah, I was a gymnast because like, or yeah, I am a gymnast because I am a gymnast. I think when you made it to a certain level, once a dancer, always a dancer. Once a gymnast, always a dancer. Once a swimmer, always a swimmer. Like, if you were an Olympian, which obviously I was nowhere near to, but if you were an Olympian, you would say you're a swimmer because, like, even if you're retired, like, because you made it to, like, you made it. Like, you literally made it in your sport. And even though, and I don't think I'm not going to obviously say I'm a gymnast, like, when I'm 20, but I think for at least, like, these first 6 months, I just need to keep in my head, even if I don't say it out loud, like, I am a gymnast. Like, I put my heart and soul to the sport. I made it so far that most people give up by, or most people just can't do it anymore, because it is, I don't want to say, like, when I'm saying, like, give up in terms of, like, oh, you just, like, quit right out the door. Like, no, just kind of, like, you know, they did what was best for them at the time, which I couldn't do until just a couple months ago. But that's besides the point. But anyway, so I was always busy. And then towards the end of June, I didn't know, especially that 1 week of my birthday, I didn't know what to do. I was kind of like, okay, I'm back from my trip. I am reading my summer reading. I am working out. But what else? Because gymnastics was always there to remind me. I always knew when I was missing a day of practice, because then it would just come back to bite me. But it would just be like, oh, why would you have practice? Or my body would be like, Olivia, we haven't done this in like a week. Like, you can't expect me to just like bounce right back, throw it on the hype. And like, you know, like you feel it when you miss a day. So going from I can't miss a day, practice all the time, to going to now, like what, to going to like, what do I do now? Like, I'm just like, that's the crazy part, because like I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, 4 o'clock comes around and I'm like, I'm supposed to be at practice. Or I guess in the summer it's 1:30, 12. I'm like, I'm supposed to be at practice. Like, it's 1:30 right now. Like, I'm supposed to be at practice, but I'm not at practice. And that was the thing that hit me. I was just like, I have nothing to do, because I used to always say like, I can't come because I have gymnastics. I can't do this because I have gymnastics. And it wasn't like a good, like, oh my god, I can finally hang out with my friends type of thing. It was more like a sad and bad kind of, I'm not going to gymnastics. Like, I don't have gymnastics. Like, I can go with you now. Like, I can go out to downtown. I can go to these cities. I can go to your house. Like, and that's just like not something I'm used to, obviously. So for me, that was hard. It was hard. Like, obviously I wanted to go with my friends, but it was hard not having something else I had to check in on. It's hard not being part of something like structured like that. And then like we had like the identity crisis, which I've kind of said is that I still refer to myself as a gymnast, because even if you just look at like these accomplishments just a little bit on the wall here and up above me, like, that's my blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I know that's like not, like, that's like kind of cheesy, but it is, and I am honestly beyond proud of it. I think everyone is beyond proud of it, of their accomplishments, whether you did it for 6 months or you did it for 14 years or you did it for 20 years. Like, I think everyone should be, if they're not, beyond proud of it, because for that amount of time, if you're like me and you put your heart, soul in it, you gave yourself, you gave everyone everything you had all the time, whether it turned out in your favor or not, I think you should be proud of it. And I obviously, I mean, no one's saying that like I can't be proud of it, but like a lot of people used to say gymnastics was my only personality trait, and I would agree with them, because for me, like, it's something that I always had over people. Not to say like I'm trying to be better than you or anything like that, but not many people can just say like they wake up and they can go and flip on a 4-inch piece of wood. Like, no, you can't just say that. And if you say that, like, you're either a gymnast, obviously, or you're delusional, because you can't just do that. Like, no one can just do that unless you are trained to do that. And again, that training takes time, like 5 years at least, a foundation. And so going from gymnastics is my only going from I'm a gymnast, like when people meet me, like I am a gymnast, like gymnastics is my personality trait, to now trying to like find something to replace it, which I've tried to stop doing, but like at first, like searching for something to replace it, that's what's hard. That's like what I'm like, well, when people meet me now, like what do I say? Like I don't know what to say. Like I still don't know what to say. Like, I'm not a gymnast, I am still me, but everyone has that like factor that makes them a little special and unique. And I know I have that factor still. Gymnastics was not the only thing, but especially if you need me in my real life, it is my thing. Like, it's like the only thing I feel like I had. I know a bunch of other people thought that I had. So that's just like where I'm at. Like, I don't know. And it was really hard for the first like month after I came back. That was just like, I don't know. And it's much better now. But you know why it's much better now? Is because I'm doing something again. Like, I'm working. So I feel like, okay, like I don't have time to stop and think. Like, this is like the first time I'm really like reflecting about it. Well, actually I did last night. But before last night, like in like at least like a month. Oh my god. I went to Miami the other day. Video right here. We stopped in Fort Lauderdale coming back, and I was talking to my aunt and my uncle because they live there, and we stopped at their house to have dinner, and they were saying like, how does it feel to have quit gymnastics, like blah blah. And I kind of told them everything, like why I quit gymnastics, yada yada yada. But I also told them, and they agreed with me, that it feels so incredibly good to have a break. And listen, anybody who knew me, or like even if you can just comprehend the schedule in like the understanding way, you know that is absolutely brutal. Like, absolutely brutal. Like, you are working out 5 days a week for 5 hours after school every day at a teenage year level, like metabolism, energy, dedication, drive, everything like that. And you have competitions on the weekend. And I know for a lot of sports it's similar, but I have yet to meet someone who had the same schedule as me. I have yet to meet someone, because I'm sure there's someone who plays a different sport or does a different sport. Because even cheerleaders, even swimmers, even football players, like, they don't have the schedule that I had. And I don't think anybody, even y'all watching this, I don't think anyone will be able to actually comprehend it until you actually been through it yourself. And obviously that's not an experience that like you're just gonna go and get. But when I tell you it feels so good to have a break, honestly, even though I am bored sometimes and I feel like I have nothing to do, I don't wish I was at gymnastics. I don't wish I was at practice. Yes, I miss the sport. Yes, I miss doing flips, but I don't miss going to gymnastics and busting my butt for so many hours. I really don't. It feels so nice to just relax, especially, and I'm glad again, like I picked summer because I like having no school or very little school, no commitments, no gymnastics, just whatever I want to do. And I know, like, this summer I'm usually very productive. Like, I'm usually doing online courses. Like I said, I'm doing school, and I will be doing more school, I guess. Normally I'm doing online classes and more school and gymnastics and a bunch of other stuff too. But this summer I chose one thing, and that was working. Other than that, I have done nothing, and even that is not that bad at all. I'm literally just doing it for a month. This is my last week, and I'm so happy. Yes, you might see me laying in my bed for days on end. You might see me just binge watching Netflix shows for hours on end. Yes, you might see me doing very little exercise. Even though I have been exercising a lot for the most part. You might see me doing nothing. You might just see me ice cream and sit in my house. Yes, I get that. And I know it's probably like, oh my god, she's so unproductive. Like, what is she doing with her life? But for the past 14 years, I have been doing everything and anything. And now I get to do nothing. And I'm so so happy about it. At least just, and again, this is not a permanent thing. This was from when I came back from Peru, and you can even count Peru because Peru was obviously a vacation. So from June 5th, or from, yeah, basically June 5th to when school starts again, August 10th, I do nothing. On August 10th, we will kick it back into gear. We will get back on our schedule. We will be working. We will be doing school. We will be doing community service. We will be doing clubs. We will be doing school. We will be doing everything again, minus the 5 hours after gym. Thank God. After school. Thank God. But I am so happy. So happy that I did what I did. And I just trust in my gut. That is the hardest thing to do. You just gotta trust your gut. And I know that's really hard, but like for me, like this was no easy process of thinking I'm leaving. Like some people just like think in a week that they're leaving, or a month, or 2 months, or 3 months. But for me, like I started thinking about this July 2021, and we're in July 2022. So that is what, 9 months later. It took me a while. And I didn't even fully come, like that's when the idea started processing. I didn't even fully come to the conclusion that I was quitting until March, and it took lots of thinking and talking with my coaches and talking with other people. And I wasn't in a very good place in my life when I was like going through all of this, so like it was much harder on me than I feel like it typically would, or I would hope it typically would. If it's always like that, then like, take the time and plan it. Like for me, I planned it out. Like I didn't just decide, like I can't just say like, okay, I decide to quit, then in a month I'm quitting. Like I needed time. I needed to enjoy the last few moments, and that's why I think the season was such a good season, because I had the mentality like, make it your best season. Like I saw an end of a tunnel here, and level 7, which was the year before this season, I didn't see the end of the tunnel, and I think I was so dead and so tired and so just drained of it and done with it that I didn't put my best foot forward. But going into this past season, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, go get that tunnel, go get that light, and I just went at it and I dominated, and I am so proud of myself for that reason. So yeah, so I don't know what's next. A bunch of stuff is happening. First of all, I plan on working all throughout the school year. So I'll be working like, I don't know, like maybe like 3 days a week after school. I'm not really sure. I have to figure that out. I have to email the manager person I'm in contact with. I think I'm emailing her like on Friday. It's Monday right now. I will obviously still be going to school. I'm doing harder classes, as you guys will see in the video coming out shortly. Hopefully my schedule's out. Well, it will for me from that video, because I have my classes now. I'm doing lots of stuff with photography, so I'm so excited about that. I hope to grow this. We're doing a bunch of community service. I'm so grateful for everything gymnastics has given me, and like my body is one of them, and I'm so excited to build on that body and work in the style that's right for me now. Yeah, what's next is kind of a mystery, but at the same time I have like some grounds path lighting leading me in the right direction. I know that's like all like it will unfold, and again, like I'm not a very like religious person, but I do believe that it is God's plan what will happen. So yeah, that's my 2-month update. Yeah, so I probably won't do another one of these because like I don't need to, but that's what has happened. If anything, I'll just tell you guys how I really feel within videos and vlogs and just little snippets. But I really want to do this video to just like tell you guys, like if you're going through it, even though you feel alone, and you probably in that moment are alone, you aren't alone, because I've done it, other people have done it, and 9 times out of 10, we're not all the same. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and again, 9 times out of 10, you will be okay, because I believe in you and you got this. And I know this is really cheesy, but I like hearing other people's stories. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye.